Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast that currently has no name right now.
Oh, you mean the podcast show that may or may not be known as the Chris and Will Show?
That is exactly what I'm talking about. That or
Or,
Brews and Rolls, right?
yep, and then we also have Slightly Off.
Slightly off, which I
Eh,
really liked. I
That's
mean,
that's the favorite.
it really works for this podcast. You know what I mean? Especially that considering most of the stuff we talk about is going to be slightly off, or at least most of the stories.
Or
It just fits.
or you mean the part where this is supposed to be a video game podcast, and in our first episode we never even touched video games?
Yeah. Well, okay. We had our first test episode, which was like a video podcast with a microphone that was just awful. So if you have the pleasure of listening to that,
Or watching it. You're gonna love watching it.
oh my gosh, let's just hope that I don't know. Let's just hope you have strong ears. We'll go with that. So I wanted to start off with something. We were talking about this earlier. Jack from Rooster Teeth posted a journal recently talking about this thing called the Order of 10. Apparently, he received a black plastic briefcase.
Like you do for most people on the internet.
Yeah, well, not only that, it's like a black plastic briefcase where, with like apparently no return address. And it's like, okay, this is a little creepy. Like, I'm getting this weird thing from some random person. And he opens it up, and there's this metal triangle in it with a little code on it. And apparently, he had to go to a website and enter in this code, and it unlocked a little section of a hexagon, like a single triangle and a hexagon, and it started this puzzle. And so, I guess tons of people had received these like different like types of game reviewers or people in the industry, and they could all go online and unlock certain parts of this puzzle. And so after looking at it, I actually went on and, what it was is there were six triangles arranged in a hexagon. And if you want to go look at this, it's actually a order of 10, 10 being the number, .com/temporal shards. And you can go there and actually look at the puzzle. And so for a while, I mean, like, I think it only took people a matter of like a few hours to solve all the puzzles and kind of figure out what they needed to do in order to kind of unlock the message behind it. But what it was is this countdown timer at the end. You solve all these puzzles, you find this directory, you go to that website, and it's a countdown timer. And it was like 3 days and I don't know, something like 12 hours when we first looked at it. And we were all like, what the hell could this possibly be? And I got really excited because it was like a picture of the earth, and I think the answer to it was humanity shall be enlightened. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the coolest game reveal ever. Like, this is going to be like some company revealing some game, like something like No Man's Sky or something, and this is going to be amazing.
Or it could be one of the worst things ever.
Well, okay, so and here's what it turned out to be. It turned out to be an announcement from NVIDIA about their latest graphics card.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, do you really need all of that? All the puzzles, all of that like mystery to announce your new GeForce graphics card?
No, you don't. But I mean, it also look at what happened to you. You've played their little game, and now you know about the hype. We're even telling all our listeners about what's going on with the what was it, the Hunt of 10?
Oh, the Order of 10.
Order of 10. There we go.
Yeah,
So
I know, but it's
I
just
mean, that publicity, yo.
yeah. I guess that's true. I mean, it was really fun. I mean,
Look at you have a journal filled with notes.
I know. I have
Which I can't tell if it's your work notes or your
okay, like there
Order of 10.
There are some work notes kind of intermixed there, but yeah, it's like there's like all these ciphers and like anagrams and all this crazy stuff, and it's for a graphics card, which
And
I don't know.
all they did was create a big game for you to play in order to entice you to buy a nice new graphics card.
And it's probably gonna work because it's probably gonna be amazing.
One of the best
But,
graphics cards out there. But
I mean, it's crazy too because the countdown timer is for this Friday at what is it? 1 p.m. local time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and I'm just really curious what they're gonna say because I mean, like, there's been all this speculation as to we know it's for NVIDIA, but it's like, what's the announcement even going to be? It almost seems like the cat's out of the bag. Like, I saw these articles of like, oh, it's something NVIDIA did for their new GeForce graphics card. And I'm like, then what's the point of the countdown timer? Like, what's the point of the announcement? I don't know.
Are
I'm
we
just like,
getting Half-Life 3 announced? Is that what's going to happen?
that would be unbelievable. Do you hear that, NVIDIA? We want Half-Life 3.
Even though you don't have any control over it.
Use your graphics card announcement platform to give us Half-Life 3.
Not going to happen, but you can always hope. I think it will be interesting to see what they do with Friday. Essentially, well, that's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because this happens to be May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. Hey.
Cinco de Mayo or Cinco de Mayo for all of you people who don't know how to speak Spanish. So, actually, that's a very interesting transition. So, Chris, go ahead and tell everyone what you were planning to do today at a local restaurant.
So, there's a local restaurant here with they grouped up with the radio station here. And essentially what you did is you put your hands into a tub of a sink of mayo. Because that's exactly how you say it.
Cinco de Mayo. There's a large leap for creativity there.
Yeah, and so like if you did that, you put your hands in all the mayo and you find a nice new prize, and then you lick all the mayo off your hands. Okay, and that's how you win the prize.
Are you kidding me? Like you don't
only a little bit of kidding.
Oh my god, I would probably throw up everywhere if I had to lick mayonnaise off my arm. And
also to preference, this is in Florida. It's already 90 degrees here.
God,
and that's without humidity.
That's just what you want, really warm mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Oh my
Tasty.
I can feel my gag reflex like twitching. Oh gosh, that's so disgusting. So, but you weren't able to do it. You had to.
No, yeah, it was. I went there after work, and it was during lunchtime, and not.
I don't get that. It's like let's have this big event, but let's have it during lunch. On a Thursday when people are working.
Yeah, I don't know what their thinking was because I don't know who wants to put their hand in mayo and then go right back to work after.
Yeah, I know, right?
A burrito or taco.
You're gonna everyone's gonna know where you were. Yeah. I'm like, what is that disgusting smell?
I mean, they give you gloves and stuff like that, but still, like, it's gonna seep in the gloves. It's not gonna be a good thing.
Okay, mayonnaise is not like some corrosive chemical that's gonna eat through latex
You don't know.
gloves.
You don't.
I do know. Of all the people in RT Florida, who would know better than me?
The mayonnaise people.
The mayonnaise people. Okay, RT Florida, if you are an expert on mayonnaise, please leave a comment on this podcast or let us know because, I mean, one, how did you become an expert on mayonnaise? That's just unbelievable. And two, I mean, I don't even have a 2.
I think that's our next t-shirt.
What?
I'm a mayonnaise expert.
I am a mayonnaise expert, yes. I would wear that. Just for the sake of people coming up and like asking you, like really? Like, are you? Like, I would be gullible enough to ask someone that. Oh my goodness. So, speaking of like news in the gaming industry, let's move on to Call of Duty. So, recently, Call of Duty has announced their newest game and have released a trailer.
Two new games.
2 new games.
But one's just a remake.
Okay. So why don't you walk us through that? Because I think you know quite a bit more about this announcement than I do.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because Call of Duty announced that, hey, we're making our next game, which is like Infinite Warfare, Infinity Warfare. Doesn't matter. They're remaking Modern Warfare 1, which is the most important part of this.
Okay.
But the only way you can play that is if you buy the Infinite Warfare.
That's diabolical.
It's just wrong. I mean, they should at least, like, hey, if you buy Infinite Warfare, you get Modern Warfare for free. Or you can just go buy the remake version for, like, $20, $30.
Yeah. So they're pulling a Nintendo. They're making Modern Warfare HD.
And the more interesting thing is, another interesting thing to that is they announced the trailer, and when they did that, DICE immediately started to, like, higher ups in DICE started tweeting out their remarks to the trailer, which was essentially like, your Infinite Warfare looks like a game that was supposed to be made 10 years ago.
Jeez. So they're making Infinite Warfare look like Modern Warfare did when it originally came out.
Yeah, that's essentially what they're... I'm not sure that's what they're getting to. I think they're more just being jerks and going after the Warfare series, which is funny. Because, like, immediately they posted that, and then a few hours later they all tweeted out apologies, and we're like, oh yeah, I play Call of Duty all the time. It's a fun game. Oh my God. After they've just literally, like, said it was complete garbage.
Is that your Twitter voice?
What?
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
Well,
it's like a weird New York.
There you go. I like it. I like it. So you watched the trailer, right? So,
Yeah.
So graphics aside, what are your thoughts on like? I mean, they're basically doing the same thing they did with Black Ops 3, right? They're saying, okay, we're pushing it even further into the future. I mean, even Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
we're in the future now, and now we're fighting in space.
At what point is it essentially just looks like Halo?
Yeah. At what point does Call of Duty turn into Halo?
And it's really just becoming to that point. Like if you look at just like how the gameplay is now, it's like Halo. It's a little bit more fast paced than Halo.
Yeah.
And, but I still think like they're just together. They look almost exactly the same.
Which, I mean, it's kind of a bummer. Like, I feel like, people might not say it, but I feel like there's this consensus that's, people want something that's closer to the original Call of Duty games. And, I just don't know how well received that would be, because it's like, the thing about making games like Halo or, the Modern Warfare 3 where you have, like, a more advanced war going on, no pun intended. That was terrible. But people want that because it's something different. It's futuristic, it's interesting. Whereas I feel like the older the older wars have been done, and there's not a whole lot to gain there. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's been rumored that even this year it was supposed to be rumored that Call of Duty was actually going to be taken off the year to kind of like
give people a break.
Not give people a break, but take the time, polish up their games. Make the story a little bit better and stuff like that. And it was rumored that they were just going to remaster the first one, and that was going to be it.
Okay.
So this new game is kind of a little bit of a surprise, but obviously it's an annual game series. But I think people are just getting tired of Call of Duty. Really, I mean, I stopped playing after Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Where it's just like every year it's like, oh, you have to throw down another $60 to play.
Yeah.
Essentially the same game.
And it seems like that, there are definitely those hardcore Call of Duty fans who
who
are buying the game every year it comes out. But you're right. I mean, like, you have how long is a typical Call of Duty campaign? Like maybe 8 hours if you're slow?
You can go 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
I think, if you actually like, hey, I'm going to try to collect some stuff while still playing the game, it's going to take you about 8 hours.
Okay, which, isn't bad for an FPS, but at the same time, you get an interesting 8-hour experience for a one-player campaign, and then you have, your multiplayer, which is pretty much the same thing, except maybe, new maps and a few new weapons, but at the same time,
it's the
you
same,
have a machine gun
perks,
and you're running after somebody and killing them.
It's like the same perks, it's just named differently. Like change it around a little bit, but essentially like it's rinse and repeat.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be interested to see what their response is. It might be the same kind of thing we saw when the Xbox One was coming out, and they talked about there was all that DRM debate, and eventually Xbox yielded and said, okay, we need to change what we're doing. Maybe it'll be something like that where they say, oh, people want to play this remastered Modern Warfare. Maybe it's going to be worth it to us to just sell it as a standalone game.
Yeah, that might happen after a year, but I think they'll probably just try to like package it together to kind of help their sales.
Yeah, that's true. There's going to be all those people who want to play Modern Warfare that's remastered and be like, well, I guess I'll pick up Infinite Warfare.
I'll try the new series to
Yeah.
get this nostalgia feeling again.
That is diabolical. Yeah, so in other gaming news, I'm sure you're aware of it. It's been plastered all over the news that Nintendo announced their the release date for the NX, or at least a release month.
It's about time.
It is about damn time. I mean, I don't know. I think the problem is that we've been like kind of drug along. If they hadn't made any announcement previously about a new system they were making, I wouldn't be right now. I would be like, oh my god, what's the next new system? It's not like we're sitting here wondering when the Xbox 2 is going to come out.
It's going to be the Wii U 2.
Oh my god, just kill me. Oh, so they announced it. It's coming out March 2017, and I was fine with that. I was like, you know what? That's fine. I could even done holiday 2017. I'm not like in a super big rush.
No,
to be getting a new system.
They need to push it out ASAP.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, it's like me as like a Nintendo fan, I wasn't like, okay, that's a hard deadline that I need. The kicker is what came after that, and that was that the new Legend of Zelda game is being pushed back as well so that it can release on the NX. And I was furious when I heard that because I have been waiting for that game pretty much since I finished playing Skyward Sword. You know, we heard rumors and then we saw the amazing trailer in 2014 where we saw this big open world and everything looked amazing. And, then they're like, okay, it's going to be coming out in 2015. And then 2015 rolls around and, oh, sorry, we're delaying it to 2016. And there's the classic thing where you're like, oh, we give it time and they'll make it better. And this is the first time Nintendo's really working with like solid HD graphics and working with that kind of open world concept with a game and like really putting a ton of work into it. And it gets pushed back to 2016. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And now they're pushing it back to 2017 and they're doing that so they can release it on the NX. And it just pisses me off because the reason a lot of people bought a Wii U was because they were told that Zelda was coming out for that system. And Nintendo's like, oh, hey, sorry if you bought a Wii U. We're going to release it for the Wii U, but we're also going to release it for the NX. And I just wanted to punch a hole in my wall.
Yeah, I don't know too much about like I kind of got off the good old Nintendo bandwagon back with the GameCube. I never jumped in during the Wii period or the Wii U period.
Yeah.
But I just know like the Wii U just had a hard time selling. Like I didn't even know what it was. Like even as an average consumer,
yeah,
I had no clue what it was. If it was attachment, if it was a new device, is it VR? Like
their marketing for the Wii U was pretty terrible. Considering like how good the marketing was for the Wii. Yeah. Like how many channels had Wii commercials on them, and it's like those commercials were great. It was like, somebody shows up and they say, try this new gaming system. Here's the new Wiimote. It's all motion control. You can also
play tennis and bowling.
Exactly.
Inside your own house. That way you don't have to go outside.
Those commercials were everywhere. The marketing for the Wii was great, especially, and I think a lot of people have touched on, the whole supply and demand thing where, it seemed like no one could get a hold of one.
No,
and that just made everyone want one.
It was a year and a half before anybody was able to.
Yeah, before they were
you could find them fully stocked in stores.
Which, I feel like it works once. That kind of thing works once.
Yeah, that whole gimmick thing, like even every other, like we got the Kinect, we had the PSI, which everybody was trying their own little thing, but Nintendo got to that gimmick first, and then it immediately crashed about.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 years after the Wii dropped.
Yeah,
and then that's when I guess the Wii U came along, and
yeah. So the Wii U, I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's got some great games. It had Splatoon, which was awesome. When Nintendo makes a shooter that beats out games like Call of Duty and Destiny for Best Shooter awards, that they did something right. And I loved that game.
The only bad thing is it only sold about, 4.5 million units?
The console or the game?
The game.
The game.
It didn't sell that well.
It didn't, just because. Yeah. Well, the problem is that there aren't that many units out there. It's like you can't compare that to a game like Call of Duty, where it's like how many Xbox Ones are there out there? Like 50 million, probably more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we want to count the 360s, I think with the Xbox Ones, there's only 20 million. 25 million.
But I mean, like across all platforms, a game like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3 probably sells like over 50 million units.
Yeah, I think
easy.
The Wii U, the attachment rate was about, if I remember correctly, about a third. But Splatoon, or like a little bit over a third.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's fantastic numbers. That beats the majority of like the AAA winners.
Yeah, so they have great games. The problem is that they had almost no third-party support. And it's because like all the third-party support wants that type of capabilities and computing that the Xbox One and the PS4 deliver. So it's like, and but between that and marketing, the Wii U was just DOA.
Yeah. Do you know what they're gonna include for graphics-wise on the NX? Like, is it gonna be close to like what we consider now current gen, like
so Xbox One? What they've said in a lot of their press reports was that the NX is going to be like the most advanced gaming system, or it's going to be,
Let's put
on
some air
par
quotes
or
around
better.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're not going to believe anything until we get specs on it, which
I wouldn't believe anything until it comes out on when is that, March 2017.
yeah.
I
So,
mean,
I mean, what they've said is it's going to be very powerful. And I think that if they can make it, a little bit better than the PS4 or the Xbox One, considering that like Microsoft and Sony are probably going to be releasing. So I've heard like reports that there's going to be like the PS4 4K and the Xbox 1.5. I don't really know what that is. Have
yeah,
you heard anything like that?
there's a bunch of rumors. I think one of the more current rumors is at E3 they're going to announce the PS4
And
point
I don't know. I
five,
don't know if
and
that's real or not, or those are the right
yeah,
names. I mean, I think I saw those while I was like surfing through an
yeah, it's
article.
supposed to have
So
like better graphic or not graphics, but like a better processor,
yeah.
and all that jazz.
So yeah. So I think what they said was that it's going to be like on par with those. I'm not looking for Nintendo to give me something that's way better than the Xbox One. I
At
mean,
least something like, I think it will sell well if they do something like comparable to the graphics right now.
exactly.
And I think,
I agree.
I mean, that's what kind of turned me away from like Nintendo previously, was like,
Yeah.
well, I can just go buy these third party games and they look like way better.
Yeah.
Even though technically I could just buy PC, but
So I think if they do that, they're going to get the third party support they need, and that's really going to help them. And it's really funny reading articles because everyone's like, you know what? Honestly, the NX could flop and Nintendo wouldn't lose any money because they have like $10 billion in savings.
well, I mean, like, if just think
Still,
of
it's
like how
still
much
not
money
an
they would make
excuse.
if they just put like they license out their games and let like third party companies
That
create
scares me.
no, it's just create ports to like cell phones and stuff like that. Like if you put any of the Pokemon games on a cell phone, like legitimately, rather than through
Rather than an emulator.
like yeah, emulators and stuff like that. Like because I still like half my emulators do not work properly. But
Yeah.
if they get somebody who can dedicate the time to make a proper port to like to a cell phone, just like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon
Yeah.
Yellow, and stuff like just those games alone, they'll make more money than they ever did.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. So we can go over this in a second. Nintendo has partnered with a company called DNA to make mobile games, and
Yeah.
like DNA has access to like all their IP, and it's funny they do that, and you're like, oh sweet, I'm gonna get like a new like Animal Crossing game on my phone, and I'm gonna get a new Fire Emblem game on my phone, and then they come out with Miitomo, which was cool for like 2 days. And then got really creepy.
Oh, that was that game?
Yeah,
Was that
so,
really that game?
Yeah. So it's like
Oh my-
literally you can like the aspect of like buying clothes and like having like interactions with other Mii's was cool, but like some of the questions that you got asked in Miitomo were really, I don't know, like a little too deep and personal.
Let's start off with the timeline of that game. At about 10 a.m., my timeline filled with Miitomo.
Yeah.
By 4 o'clock, not a single thing. And since then, I haven't seen a single post about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it had like nothing lasting for me because it's like, you accumulated points by reading people's answers to questions and then like liking them or commenting them, and then you would get points when people commented on your answers. And some of them were interesting, like let's see here. A question was something like, what did you do over the weekend? Like that's really easy. Or like things.
You don't want to know that answer.
Oh, gross, dude. Oh, that's disgusting. But then there were questions where like what was something that really impacted your life, or like what do you do to make yourself feel better if you're like really feeling down? And I'm like,
I go in a corner and cry myself to sleep.
yeah, and you're just like, what? Like, why are you asking me this? And like, not only that, but who wants to read that? What person's out there like, you know what? What makes
really-
Will feel better when he's sad? Yes, Chris. Chris is raising his hand and really wants to know. Chris, if you want to know, I put an answer on Miitomo, so you can go.
Oh,
read it.
let me just go download that right now.
Do it. So yeah, that's the first game we got. However, I did hear announcements that Nintendo is planning on showing off some new stuff that they've done with DNA, including Fire Emblem mobile game and an Animal Crossing mobile game, and I think both of those are perfect for the mobile market, especially because like you're not talking about like some port where I'm going to be playing an Animal Crossing game on my phone. It's going to be like some kind of mobile version where it's going to be something like Street Pass where I can interact with other people online or something like that. I don't know. So I feel like that's going to be interesting, but it's not going to have the impact of creating like some 2D Mario game.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm not sure if it's DNA, DN,
DNA, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Basically,
make sure.
DNA.
Yeah. They somebody's they're making Pokemon Go, which looked very like essentially like so a few years ago.
It's like Pokemon IRL.
I think it was for April Fool's Day. They did like a whole little Google Maps. Like you go on Google Maps and you had to go find Pokemon and stuff like that.
That was
like
real though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was real.
Okay.
So that lasted. I'm not sure if you can, I don't think it lasts anymore, but like you can go watch videos of it. And it was really amazing. I did it for like a few minutes and then I kind of stopped. I was just too busy. Anyway, so they're making Pokemon Go, which is supposed to be similar to that, or like you would go to certain areas and like if you're in that area you can fight people.
Yeah.
Well, a video just got leaked about that, and I went from very hyped to very meh.
So a video leaked for Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think they're doing beta testing right now. Like I think there
a
bunch of people who were.
I think there is current beta. I'm not sure when it's supposed to come out. I know it's soon. But no, the graphics looked. I mean, it is a beta, but they looked rough. Even for hello guy.
Maggie, my dog, is wanting to participate.
You want to be involved in this?
I don't think she has much to contribute. She's pretty quiet. But yeah, well, that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like with that game, it's a question of do I really need high-res graphics with Pokemon Go?
Yes.
I mean, look at Pokemon X and Y. Those don't really have the best graphics, really. But that's not what the game is about.
No, but I mean, it definitely helps it play.
Yeah.
Like right now for me, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow are like super nostalgia feel.
Yeah.
And then I tried playing like the X and Ys and stuff like that. It was rough for me, like to go from mostly a console user to a Game Boy.
Yeah, like moving into the mobile side of gaming.
Into the mobile, it was really rough. Even though like I love playing the Pokemon
or handheld, I should say,
the Pokemons and the Zeldas, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think Nintendo is bound to have a bit of a rough year. And going back to the NX and Zelda, they announced that at E3 they are saying nothing about the NX, which I think is a huge mistake.
Well, they're probably going to try to promote the hell out of Wii U to be like, hey, the system's going to be outdated in a few weeks.
Yeah, they need to get in some. But
they need to get rid of some copies of the Wii U.
Yeah, like Call of Duty Ghost for the Wii U, which I think just did terrible.
Was that an actual game?
Yeah, Call of Duty Ghost released on the Wii U along with Mass Effect 3. And
I do remember Mass Effect and
Assassin's Creed 3.
That everybody was really into not playing those games on the Wii.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 2 was on the Wii U. Or sorry, I meant all those games on the Wii U. Sorry.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Ghosts, Assassin's Creed 3, and Mass Effect 3, and those were all on the Wii U, which seemed awesome at the time, but then when you played them on the Xbox One, you're like, I don't need this.
Or PC or anything like that.
But yeah, so Nintendo's really focusing on Zelda at E3, and I mean, I think it's a mistake not to even mention teasers about the NX. So I hope they change their minds.
Well, I think definitely teasing Zelda, like you go into E3 and you just say the words Zelda game coming out soon. You're gonna win it, or you're at least gonna have a lot of hype going into it.
Yeah.
Or they can just announce that Guardians thing and watch that I'm sorry, that's PlayStation. Just announce Guardians, or
I don't know. I think
watch the hype train begin and then never mention it again.
I need it. I need that info, Chris. I am like an addict, and I need it. So I want to talk about RTX. So
let's go ahead. I mean, I've been there 2 years. This is going to be my third year. This is my first year as VIP.
Yeah, VIP. High five for VIP. Uh, apologies to all the listeners who did not get VIP badges. That was insane.
Yeah,
The
so
whole
they gave us a code, and I completely forgot about the code. Went back to go place the code and realized you can't use it.
yeah, it was like there was some weird thing where
And like if you dropped it from your cart, you were SOL.
yeah,
out
you
of-
knew that like you were not getting that
Yeah.
VIP badge back as soon as you took it out of your cart. I mean, there was like Sergio had that problem where he had the VIP badge in his cart and had issues with
Just
the
checking out.
with the code, and he had issues
Yeah.
checking out, and he ended up losing the badge.
Yeah,
And like
That's
he
the
was just out of luck there.
yeah, like nobody could do anything.
Which
Not even the stat.
Yeah,
or
like he
the
called the
front
company.
gate.
Yeah, he called Frontgate, and they couldn't even help him. Which, jeez, I mean, but we also talked to people who didn't get that badge, and we were like, you know what, like waiting in line for panels is gonna be kind of rough, but the entire RTX experience is just worth it to go, hang out with community members, walk the showroom floor. Pick out a few panels you want to go to, and this is gonna be my second one, so by no means am I an expert at all about.
Neither am I, but like I mean, going through having 2 years of experience or like having one, it really helps you move around the convention center and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And, like kind of know what to do.
Yeah, or like how to plan out your time. Like
yeah.
if I want to go to this panel, like the Achievement Hunter panel, I know I'm going to need to get there pretty early. I think, man, there were like people lining up for the Achievement Hunter panel.
It was
Like
4
4 hours early.
Yeah, I skipped that.
I was like, what the hell?
I got in line, or I realized the line was there at 4 hours. Sat there for about 30, and then realized.
I mean, and like if you're gonna sit in like
Yeah.
the middle of an auditorium, there's no real big difference between the middle of the auditorium and the back of the auditorium. So it's like,
there's a little bit. I mean, when it comes to sound quality,
yeah, still though.
it was a little bit. I know I went to the founders panel, and it was a little bit rough in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hanging out, especially since this is the first year that RT Florida is going to be like
official.
we're gonna have like the RT Florida gang.
crew.
at
We'll be walking around
RT
with
yeah.
our leather jackets.
We're gonna be cruising around Austin. We need to make sure we have shirts so we can rep the brand, and we're gonna be cruising around Austin and we're gonna have good times. We're gonna party, and it's gonna be
we may or may not blow up anything.
yeah, no promises.
No promises.
Although blow up's kind of strong.
It is kind
Probably
of
break stuff.
break.
We may or may not be breaking things because I mean
We'll be
like
blowing up the. Brakes.
I don't want Homeland Security coming after us.
That's actually
Yeah,
good
we
to
heard
go.
on one of your podcasts
That
that you're going to be planning on blowing
blowing up
things
and
up at
stuff.
Austin, and you're like,
We're gonna need to interview you a little bit.
I know, right? Oh, gee. Or maybe like with like a Texas accent, which I'm not even going to attempt. I think.
Yeehaw! I'm from Texas, y'all.
Oh my gosh. I think if you were at the first RT Florida meetup in Orlando, you'll know that a lot of us struggle with accents after we were playing. What's that game called again?
Utter nonsense.
Utter Nonsense, the game of accents, which is probably just more fun for people to listen to you try and have an Australian accent or have a Russian accent, and it's just terrible. So
I don't like to remember those days.
a lot of us were doing pretty terrible jobs. Anyway, so yeah, RTX I think is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the panels there. I don't know. It's just I think it's like the panels are great, but I'm just really looking forward to like hanging out with everyone
Yeah, I'm looking
in
forward
Austin, like at a place dedicated to celebrating Rooster Teeth and just really diving into all things that are RT.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like just meeting like a bunch of these community members that I've been interacting with, and then showing them pictures of Florida again in our beautiful weather.
You
in
miss
person.
this, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, we're like Texas, except not in beaches.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I posted on one of the 2016 RTX forums about. I mean, it's not going to happen. I'd love for it to happen, but it's just a logistical nightmare. But like trying to make a picture of the United States where like everyone from that state groups up and like makes the shape of that state. You know what I'm trying to say? So imagine
I know
like,
what you're trying to say. I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah, I know. It's very ambitious.
It is a very. I like the idea. I don't like the idea of doing that idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just like Photoshop, cut out pictures, and like glue them together.
There you
and
go.
like make some nice little art.
If any of you are good at crafts, we might recruit you because you don't want to see me try to do anything crafty like that. It's just it wouldn't end well.
I'm not trusted with stick glue.
No, but yeah. So RTX is gonna be awesome, and then after that, I don't think there's really anything scheduled for the rest of the year. I mean,
well, we have our. You can go ahead.
So yeah, one thing quick before I talk about that. Let's see. Saturday morning, Ruby Chibi comes out.
Yes.
And I have never watched anything Chibi ever. So
What's Chibi?
What was that?
What's Chibi?
What is it?
What is it?
So
I just see it. I'm super excited about it.
I'm gonna give a big apology to the entire anime community as I make a very terrible attempt at describing to Chris what Chibi is. My basic understanding is that it is a like more cute version of something,
so
and
like
I don't think those I don't think those two are related. But like the anime style is like they're shorter and they have bigger heads, and it's just supposed to be like more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this and I just butchered that definition because I don't really know the definition, then I apologize. And
he also doesn't care because you're internet people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to get bogged down in the details. So, but yeah, so that's coming out, and then I think when is the first episode of season 14 of Red vs. Blue?
Is it
the
Sunday? Next day. It's the next
Sunday,
day.
Right?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
I feel like that just snuck up on us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just announced it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And it's like, and by the way, RVB season 14 is here. And I mean, the summer's pretty much upon us, so it's like, it's supposed to be starting right about now.
I'm kind of, I could see Red vs. Blue coming out. I was a little bit more surprised with the Ruby coming out. I figured they would wait till RTX to announce that, but
yeah. Well, I mean,
this is when most of their fans are going to have time off.
Yeah.
I mean, you have right around that summer period.
I know,
it's
right?
A little bit more free time.
All the fan art's going to come out of that.
Just push that show out.
Well, especially because after RTX, they're going season 4 of Ruby's probably going to be in full swing.
Now I assume there'll be a nice little new trailer at RTX.
Yeah, I'm really
or at least like if not a trailer, the first episode.
Yeah, or like because let's see, because they were a little behind for, the reason we all know, last year. So I think at RTX 2015 they showed some clips, some like unfinished clips from season 3 of Ruby, which I really enjoyed. Yeah. It was pretty awesome. I actually got to sit next to one of the animators at that panel.
I got to sit in another panel during that panel.
What panel were you in when that?
I have no clue.
You don't.
Was it?
You don't remember?
I think it was Funhouse. It was one of the Funhouse panels.
You would be in a Funhouse panel during a Ruby panel. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I sat next to one of the animators for Ruby, and it was crazy because I'm talking to the guy, and just trying to strike up some conversation before the panel starts, and I'm asking him, where are you from? What do you hear? Are you a big fan of Rooster Teeth? Or are you just, is this your first time here? Are you a big fan of Rooster Teeth? What a stupid ass question to ask. And then I asked him where he lived.
Hey, you're at the RTX. You like Rooster Teeth?
Oh my god. It was my first RTX, Chris. Leave me alone. So
so like there were legitimately people there one year who just went there to go like what was it, 2 years ago? Who just went there to go on a Saturday to go see the Halo stuff.
Really?
Like they had no interest in Rooster Teeth. They just went there for Halo. But there are people who go there who are just like, well, I only like this group, but they're in a convenient location where I can actually go to this convention.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I asked the guy where he's from, and he says he's from Austin. I'm like, oh, it's convenient. And then I asked him what he did, and his fiance leaned over and was like, just go ahead and tell him. I'm like, go ahead and tell me. Like, what does this guy do?
He's actually a drug dealer.
I know, yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, who am I sitting next to? And he's like, oh, I actually am an animator for Ruby. And I was like, what? And the next thing I was like, I need to be cool. Because the last thing this guy wants to do is sit here and have me be like, going like full fanboy on him. Be like, oh my gosh, like who do you animate? Who's your favorite to animate? And blah blah blah. And so I sat there and I basically just tried to talk to him about regular stuff, which at the time was very difficult because
Can we?
all I
Can
could,
we? So let's just stop there. What is regular stuff?
when you're sitting in a Ruby panel, regular stuff is everything not Rooster Teeth or not Ruby. All
Did you
right.
talk about the weather?
Luckily, we started talking about like personal stuff, which was nice. And so, I talked to him and his fiance. Asked him about, them being engaged because I had recently been married. And so we talked a lot about that, which was nice. And we ended up really hitting it off. I went to a panel that he was on about doing animation, which was hard for me because I know nothing about 3D animation. So I was kind of like sitting there like, okay, this is those are words. Those are words.
Those words are nice. They're full.
I have the best words. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Donald Trump reference. Obligatory Donald Trump reference. Anyway, yeah. So we started talking about all that, and I went to his panel. We ended up hanging out a little bit, and I don't know, he was a really cool guy, and it was it was a really cool experience hanging out with a Rooster Teeth employee and not talking about Rooster Teeth at all.
I think everybody wants to know out there, did you get his number?
I got his email address.
Ooh.
I know, right?
That's like getting a MySpace.
I think it's better than getting a MySpace. Are you telling me that email and MySpace are like on the same level?
We're getting.
I mean,
there.
we're not friends. We are acquaintances. But I mean, he was like anytime you're in Austin, hit me up and we can go grab a beer or something. And I thought to myself, dude, I'm gonna be in Austin in a year. Like I can't think of any reason I'll be back here. I'm a grad student. I make like
I think
no
it's
money.
more weird that you two are plans via email, and I don't know if you know guys. But guys making plan is the most frustrating thing ever.
It really is. We put almost no effort into making plans, and we save really making concrete plans into the last minute.
Yeah, it's literally like 5 seconds. Like, even this podcast, like, we legitimately made plans like 10 minutes before this happened.
Yeah, we were like, oh, we wanted to do that podcast today, right? I'm like, okay, where are we going to do it? I'm like, oh, well, all the places we wanted to do it with are closed since the university is like shut down for summer. So I'm like, let's just do it at my house.
Well, spring.
You were not going to sit there.
Spring extra break.
You're not going to sit there and tell me that this is spring break.
It's spring extra break.
What does that even mean?
It's extra break. Because everybody's going to go to do something. Well, most people are going to do summer classes.
That's not true.
So it's an extra break. You get like 2 weeks off, and then you're like, bam, back to school.
I am not going to argue with you about this. Anyway, so yeah, he was really cool. I'm hoping to hit him up. Maybe we'll hang out when we get back there. But it's like it really kind of drives some of that point with it's really awesome to like see Rooster Teeth employees there. But it's like I feel like when you're there, they would love to talk to you about Rooster Teeth stuff, but it's like I feel like you need to take that opportunity to just like talk with them as a person and be like, what are the things you like? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with I'm just terrible at small talk. Luckily, the guy and his fiance had some common ground with me, and that I was recently married, so we had something to talk about. Otherwise, Chris is right. I probably would have been asking him about the weather. Like, oh my gosh, it's so hot out here in the summer in Texas.
Oh man, this Texas weather, it's not like that Florida weather out there.
That's spot on. It was spot on. So, yeah, that was cool. And I'm hoping to have, another great RTX experience, meet lots of new people. Like you said, meeting tons of new people from the community, especially since I feel like the community as a whole has been stronger than ever in terms of like, people having meetups or people creating a community within the state they live in or within some activities that people like. So,
I mean, like you can even look at like the accounts that have popped up since probably the beginning of the year when we saw a huge amount of spikes in people in creating their own communities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
especially with what was it, the 13th year anniversary of Rooster Teeth?
Yeah,
on April 1st, like. There was the states I don't even remember were just popping out of there.
I thought you were going to say states you didn't even know of.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever heard of Arkansas or Arkansas?
I don't think.
Anybody know what that is?
I don't think they have a fan group yet.
They probably don't. So you guys need to get on that.
They do.
And then there's
do they have internet out there?
I don't know. They probably have like
there's Little Rock and Walmart there, but that's about it.
Little Rock and Walmart. But so I think I'd love to see a chart of like the number of profiles on the Rooster Teeth site versus time, and see like see spikes in that and see what those are associated with.
I think it'd be more interesting to see like official fan groups that have popped up over time. and
That's
especially
true.
within like the past year, because that's essentially when we were officially created, was right around, what do you want to say, September, October?
Yeah, yeah, around September.
Yeah,
And it's crazy too because RT Florida was a group even before then. I think the
yeah.
group that we took over was created in like 2013. But when I stumbled upon it, there was like no activity. The last post was from like a year ago at that time. And so I was like, okay,
Y'all want to meet up?
and it was, it's crazy too. Like they definitely had some good ideas, and they were trying to get some community stuff going on, but it just, I guess, it died out. And so, I was like, you know what, I want to try and get some meetups going. And I was kind of inspired by like RT Minnesota. Those guys do a really awesome job, having community events, and I think they really had a great idea of, you know, they put on community stuff just for the sake of meeting up and having a really tight knit community. They're not all about, oh, we need to have the biggest community and we need to have, the most active community. It was like, they're just like, listen,
We have the biggest community. We're the most activist.
Chris, shut up! You're ruining my point. And so, and then also RT Las Vegas. So those were really big inspirations, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And so I got actually Low Zelda, who is one of the site admins, and or one of the site moderators. I can't remember which one it was.
I think she's a moderator.
Yeah, I think you're right. But she helped me become an admin because the group was so I don't know,
Dead.
dead. I guess that's, yeah.
Just put a tombstone right on it.
Yeah,
On
it was
that
so
cow.
inactive that none of the users who were admins on it were available, and so she actually had someone add me as an admin, and then I could start making posts and stuff. And at that same time, Victoria was trying to get RVB FL started back up, which was crazy. I mean, it was like almost the exact same time. And so
Yeah.
we talked, and we ended up merging the two groups, and we ended up just picking RT Florida because that was like more overarching than RVBFL.
Inclusive.
And here we are. So, but yes, I don't know. It's really exciting. It's really exciting to see. It's really excited to see. I'm really excited to see the participation in all the groups across the country, and I don't know. I think this is gonna be a good year.
It's definitely going to be interesting in the fact that this is the first time where they're also including SGC, which also
Yes.
got thousands of attendees as well.
Yeah,
And we got, what was it, last year, 30, 40,
45.
45,000 people. And now we're probably also going to include another 10 to 15, so 60,000 maybe?
That's way too many people.
I don't know. Well,
It's like a professional football game's
Yeah.
worth of people.
yay!
Less
drunk. Maybe.
drunk?
Less drunk.
What?
I word good.
What are you even talking about?
Well, I mean, like, you go to a sporting event, and
oh,
immediately
the
you're
people
just like,
are less drunk.
yeah, the people are less drunk.
Okay, I was.
I mean,
so
I won't, but
confused.
like,
I know, right? Well, it was crazy too. So, talking to Josh about going, he had saved up a bunch of money to get a VIP pass and then wasn't able to get one, which was really unfortunate. But he came to the realization that I could still go and I'm gonna have all this extra money that I can buy awesome swag with, and I can go out and get some drinks at night, and so have all this other income that he wouldn't have had, or all this extra money to
always gotta make
basically have an
positives.
amazing time. I know, dude, we're all gonna have an amazing time. Gonna get some bevs, get our drink on. It's gonna be awesome.
white girl wasted, yo.
What?
White girl wasted, yo.
Oh, I think you said micro wasted. I was like, that sounds
Micro-wasted.
terrible. I don't want to be micro wasted.
It's the best wasted there is.
Oh my gosh. We got anything else?
No, it's just a constant reminder to make sure you follow us on Twitter at RT_Florida. You can follow us on the Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Facebook.
On the Facebook.
The Facebook.
The RT_Florida as well. Follow us on Twitch, RT_Florida as well.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, there's a nice little theme here. And I think that, that's pretty much it
And
for
join
our
the
social media.
join the group on the Rooster Teeth site
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
listening
yeah.
to this. I mean, that's where we post, a lot of our stuff, and where we're gonna have a majority of our interaction. The other sites are, mainly trying to direct you back towards the RT site and or just make an announcement. But
it gives you an option, like if you don't, like not all of it. Like I get instant notifications for Twitter and Facebook and
I
stuff
love
like that.
push notifications
Yeah,
from RT.
so like maybe one day when we get the push notifications, it'll be great for RT.
Yeah.
But like we're not gonna force you on there. We try to make sure everybody knows what's going on, whether you're on our site or Facebook or Twitter.
And as another reminder, we're having our first ever North RT Florida meetup on March 20th. Sorry, May 20th.
May 21st.
May 21st.
It's a Saturday.
Let me start over.
Okay.
We are having our first ever North RT Florida meetup May 21st, which is a Saturday, at Dave & Buster's in Jacksonville. There's information all over our social media accounts about that in a post on the RT site, so just keep an eye out for more updates on that. And if you're nearby or you want to hitch a ride from somewhere like Orlando or Gainesville, just go ahead and make that known and keep your eyes open for new updates because we'd love to see you there.
Yes, we would. I can't wait to be in Duval.
God. I didn't even get, like, it took me a second to even like realize what the hell you were talking about in that.
Yeah, it's
that tweet.
It's
like
a thing from Jacksonville Jaguar. The sports reference here. They are very proud of their county name.
Woohoo! Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yay! We're gonna win all the games. We're going to the Super Bowl, yo.
Holy shit!
We'll put it down in the books right now. Super Bowl. I'm just kidding.
You heard it here first. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2016. Chris predicts the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win
It's our year.
Super Bowl 51.
It's our year. It's our
LI.
year.
Super Bowl
To
League.
maybe win more than 4 games and get a top 5 draft pick. Anyway, back to ending this thing off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else. What about you?
No, it's we also have Rooster Rumble going on.
Yes, Rooster Rumble.
Unfortunately, we did lose round 2 to Rooster Speak, but
fuck those guys. No, I'm just kidding. They're awesome.
Allegedly. Up next is RT Georgia, our sister state up north, or that team or group up north. That they're from Georgia, so I'm sorry for them. I'm really sorry for them. I mean, no matter if we win or lose, Georgia is always the loser because they live in Georgia.
We feel bad.
We feel bad.
Just know that you can come down here.
We're sorry,
anytime
Georgia.
you want.
Anytime. Just get rid of your Georgia Tech gear or your Georgia Bulldog gear, and you'll fit right in here.
We're not sorry.
We're not, but sorry.
Okay. Yes, Rooster Rumble. Check out all our social media. Check out the RT site. Check out the group. And hope everyone has a great weekend.
Take it easy.
Peace out. I can't leave on that. I need something else.
Be awesomer at awesomeness.
That one.
Because you're awesome.
That one.